That's funny. Does he have like facial hair?
Yeah, he does.
He's trying to get the rest of his department.
So what do you think there, young fella?
That looks pretty sick.
That's what abortion is, and that's what it does to little children.
That's what they look like when they're aborted.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Got arms, legs, fingers and toes, their own brain waves, their own blood type, their own DNA. It happens 4,000 times a day here in the United States. 4,000 Americans are killed.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but I want to respect my wife if I get married in her decision.
To kill your son or daughter?
Well, I mean, it's not my decision. I mean, I'm not the one carrying the baby.
Yeah, it's your decision. You know, I mean, you're just making a decision right now, saying that it's all right for her to kill it.
I mean, yeah, I don't agree with this, but I think it's mostly the decision of the pregnant woman, right?
No. Well, the woman doesn't have the right to kill her child after the child's born. Doesn't have a right to kill it before it's born either.
Oh.
Where does that right come from?
Huh?
Where does the right to kill your child come from?
You're right, there is no
right. You can't legalize something. I mean, you can't make something right just because it's legal. I mean, not in Germany, it was legal to kill Jews, gypsies,
and I actually am a Jew.
Right.
Yeah.
So just because it's legal, that don't make it right.
Yeah.
What does God say about it?
What does he tell you?
He says, "Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not murder." It's not complicated.
Ten Commandments.
Yeah. And it's murder to take the life of a helpless, innocent person, isn't it?
It is. Was that you with the anti-homosexual sign last week?
Yep, sure was.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I'm not a fan of homosexuals.
Yeah. Well, different theme today. Same message, basically. You know, God is our creator. He's the lawmaker, and he tells us what's right or wrong. And our laws are either in conformity to his laws or they're in rebellion to his laws. And America's laws right now are in rebellion to God's law. They used to be in conformity to it. Before 1970, there were laws against homosexuality on every statute of every state in the nation.
Now they should have kept those laws.
That's right. And there were statutes against baby murder, you know, against abortion, what they call abortion, which isn't really abortion. We're not really opposed to abortion. That's why we call it aborticide. The abortion is the removal of a dead baby. Okay, we think a dead baby should be removed. Okay, but this is a living child, so it's aborticide. It's feticide. To take the life of a living human being.
How does it work? You just kill the baby, then how do you get it out of there?
There's different methods, you know, depending on how far along. This child at 23 weeks was a DNC abortion. They took it out piecemeal. You know, I mean, they reached in there and they cut it up, you know, while it was inside the womb and brought it out.
You know, you're really getting the message out because this is really disturbing.
It is.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, you know. I mean, but even at an early stage, like for instance, the morning after pill is another method. It's a newly conceived child. It's only, you know, a few days old, maybe a week old at the most, and but yet it's still a person. You know, when does life begin?
Yeah.
Life begins at fertilization, and so we don't discriminate based on size or age. You know, it's age isn't
or intelligence.
Or intelligence. You know, I mean, everyone is entitled to. If you look at our Declaration of Independence, you know, which is our founding document,
all men are created equal,
and they're endowed by their Creator, right, with certain unalienable rights. Now, when are men created? They're created at fertilization, and that was recognized, you know, in laws, you know, prior to Roe v. Wade. They had laws that quickening when a child, they didn't know much about fetal development at that time. They said that before a child could be felt in the womb, that was before quickening. It was a misdemeanor to kill the child, but then it was a felony after quickening, which is when the child could be felt in the womb. But if you look at fetal development or ultrasounds, which is technology that we have today, we see that it's a continuum. At the moment of fertilization, it's a matter of development. And that's a human being from the moment of fertilization, and that's logical.
Quick question. If the baby had a deformity, would that be an okay right to abort it?
Would it be all right to kill it after born?
What?
Would it be all right to kill deformed people, people handicapped after they're born?
No.
That's my answer. And if it's not okay to do it after a child is born, it's not okay to do it before it's born. It's still a person, it's still a human being. Again, it would be ageism, it would be discrimination to say that it's okay to do it one and it's not okay to do it another. Why not? What's the logic behind it? And a person is a person no matter how small. It's not law, but it's something everybody knows.
This may sound like a stupid question, but I know this is against abortion, but if they aborted baby Hitler, would you be okay with that?
No, because we don't. It's the ultimate act of prejudice to say that this child may turn out to be a Hitler or some other kind of a bad person, because of the fact that in the Bible, Deuteronomy 24:16, father shall not be put to death for the sins of his children, or neither shall the children be put to death for the sins of their father, but each shall be put to death for their own sins.
Even if they become the evilest men in the world?
Yeah, we don't know that. When it's in a womb, we don't know what the child's going to be. It's prejudice, it's prejudging, to say that this child's going to be a Hitler, it's going to be. You see that? There's no way you can know that.
No, you
just
can't.
Because somebody is the son of a bad person. We got biblical examples of that too. Hezekiah was a good king, but he was the son of a real wicked king. Okay, he was the son of Ahab and Jezebel. Okay, and his son, who was Manasseh. He was a real wicked king. Manasseh was. But he ended up repenting and becoming a good person, towards the end of his life, after he was in captivity. But still, you can't judge just because somebody's the son of a wicked person or even a good person. You don't know what their children are going to turn out to be. That's an individual choice. Some people are raised right, and got every break that they can get. They turn out to be rascals.
It's proven that Hitler took medicine, which is one of the key ingredients in crystal meth. I think that's why he was so messed up.
Oh yeah, he was on drugs. He was.
So a theory believes that crystal meth is one of the reasons, well, in my opinion, that Hitler killed 6 million Jews.
Yeah, actually, if you look at history, that was going on before him. He was just in the middle of all of that, and he obviously sanctioned it. But it was actually the doctors that were behind the Holocaust. Yeah, the Nazi doctors. If you look up a book called The Nazi Doctors, there's a 4-part series on it, and it's transcripts from the Nuremberg files. It's testimony, from a lot of different people's guards, prisoners, and as far as what went on during that time, you'll see that the doctors, the Nazi doctors, or the German doctors during that time, the German Medical Society, was behind the Holocaust.
Not Hitler, the German doctors?
They were, during his time, he was trained, and he certainly participated in it, but...
So the doctors' beliefs to exterminate all Jews?
Yeah, and Hitler did too. I mean, you know, but there was, you know, I mean, there was a public opinion, you know, at that time, like we have right now. You know, I mean, right now there's a favorable public opinion towards same-sex marriage. Okay? But you know, that didn't exist before. Okay, that came about because of the press. It came about because, you know, advertising, you know, I mean, of the media, and there was really an anti-Jew a mentality at that time. You know, there was caricatures against Jews in newspapers. You know, there was cartoons against them. There's a lot of media, you know, which influenced people's thinking. You know, just you know, that was anti-Jew, anti-Pole, and that basically accepted the Holocaust, just like that today. You know, people accept baby murder, they accept, you know, abortion on demand, as if there's nothing wrong with it at all. And yet it's terribly wrong.
And what I'm thinking is abortion came out of Hitler's idea of superior race.
Right. And the master race. And that was not only him, that was his henchmen, you know, that were part of that.
Yeah, like they can have nothing wrong with a person, like no deformity, no nothing.
Yeah, and they also had to be Aryan. They had to be
German,
you know,
yeah,
you know, and all other races were inferior races. You know, they were they considered them like chattel, or they dehumanized them, demonized them, and to where it was acceptable for, you know, for people to kill them, and acceptable for the culture to allow them to be killed. And that's the same way today. You know, preborn children are demonized, they're dehumanized, and they're not even mentioned in the abortion debate. We're always talking about a woman's right, what a woman can do. A woman doesn't have a right to kill a child. You know, God commands, thou shalt not kill. The U.S. Supreme Court can't overturn God's law. You know, and when it does, it creates crimes against humanity. The same things that we tried the Germans for, you know, that were involved in the Holocaust. We are guilty of the same crimes against humanity. We have actually done more heinous crimes than the Germans did. You know, Hitler killed us.
No, I don't believe that. The Germans did more heinous crimes, I think.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Hitler killed 10 million people.
Yeah.
Okay? And Stalin killed 100 million. Okay?
Well, he didn't have a thing against them. He just, they just didn't agree with him.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, who's worse, Stalin or Hitler?
Probably Hitler, because he actually hated the people.
Well, does that, you know, does that, do you think Stalin loved the people that he killed?
Yeah, it's just that he didn't want them to speak out against them.
So you think that's worse? Well, it doesn't really matter to the babies, you know. I mean, you know, like, you know, what or to those people that were killed, whether they were hated or not. I mean, they're still dead no matter what, and it's still a heinous, you know, a heinous crime. This is what abortion is and what it does to little children. You know, the 1 out of every 3 children are aborted. Do you know, this is a fact that there's a higher percentage among blacks than there are among whites or any other race? Yeah. There's a website called blackgenocide.com. Look it up, and they give statistics, you know, regarding that.
Okay.
Blackgenocide.com is called.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. You changed my mind about abortion.
Okay, great. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm against it now. Have a nice day.
All right, but hey, now that you're against it, what are you going to do? Are you going to speak out against it, or are you going to just kind of stuff it?
If I get into politics, then yes.
Okay. right.
Yeah, I'll just tell people I don't agree with it.
Tell them why.